Mhm. Okay, so what has been going on recently? I've been mostly reading about Konami's baseball games, but yeah, generally speaking, not much has changed at all, really. One thing I do need to do though, before I forget, is I need to find games. Let's see, many d8s. Many d8s, a measuring tool, rulers work fine, but measuring tape may be preferred. There we go. There we are. Yeah, pretty basic stuff. Just need to add that little bit. And today we're going to do, hopefully we're going to try to do 3 things. My first thing is get discount ship modules and all hands on deck crew done. That's going to be one of the main things. I want to get that done. There we go. Oh, there we are. But yes, generally speaking, we just have to do these. Now, discount ship modules, this is going to be me having to like literally draw out a certain number of modules. I have a few ideas for them. I may have to just kind of throw them to the masses. Luckily enough, again, everything's kind of already here for that, so I can just use that. It's night, but not midnight. Yes, it is a little bit later. I meant to stream earlier, but I kind of just got distracted talking about Konami. So yeah, welcome to my life. Let's see, discount ship modules. Each ship is free to purchase. Initial modules. Actually, each capitan is free to purchase initial modules and tools for modules for their ship should aim slotting them into their craft easily, slotting them to their craft to enjoy the benefits. The ones the ones presented here are the common salvaged versions, often inferior to their more pristine brethren, but as a void hunter, salvage is what you get. Alright, so here's some just basic modules, what we're going to be making, and generally speaking, what we're going to be doing is we're going to need to build a table. I believe we can probably do this with 3. What we have to do is we're going to do, so the name of the we're going to do the name of the module, effect, and then module and specification. Specifications. So we can just do name effect specifications. We do something like this. Actually, what's the size of you? Column width. Can we do like? We'll just do a flat 3. And can we do a flat 3 here? Yes, we can do a flat 3. We do both of these. We put you in the center. We put you in the middle, and then we hit this button, and we are Gucci. So, some basic modules I'm just going to write down just because of like things that are immediately present that are good and we like. So, basic modules are going to be increased hull integrity. Don't know what I'm going to call it yet. That's going to be increased hull integrity, increase hard points, increase engine power, increase ECM, increase sensor rating, increase crew capacity. There we go, increase crew capacity. Let's see, we want to do, those are some of the basic ones. So just absolute simple ones to understand. Let's think of some other things that are possible to add on to a ship. Yu-Gi-Oh card, yeah, going to produce pachinko. Pachinko makes money. Like, I don't think people quite realize gambling will always make money. Gambling is a good way to make a solid income. Why do you think gacha games are the way they are? Gacha games are not there because they care about you. Far from it, in fact. Yeah, like they are not there because like, ah, man, this company really does enjoy me. Like, they love me being present. Actually, we'll do hard point. Actually, no, we'll do light hard point optimization, which moves into, actually, we'll do hard point light. Hard point light optimization. We'll do hardpoint medium optimization. Then we move into hardpoint heavy optimization, which reminds me I need to add in another column here real fast. Which I'm probably going to shrink down the size of this to 10. Which we need to do mark cost. Luckily I can keep that pretty small, so I should be alright. There we go. So just basic hull modifications, increased engine power. We want to do increase engine power. Actually, engine optimization. TM resistance. Makeshift sensor gear, and then additional berthing. Actually, no, we do more bunks and beds. There we go. Hull reinforcement. Increase hull integrity. Increase hull integrity by, it would be hull integrity by, we'll say hull integrity by 10. Mark cost. I don't know how I'm going to be doing the marks yet. So kind of just generally speaking, we're going to do that. Which we're going to duplicate this chart real fast, because luckily we can do that. And we're going to do, we want to make this a little bit awkward, because I'm okay with things being awkwardly sized for these, because that's the point. They're not really supposed to be the most efficient things in the world. Actually, we do. Yeah, now this will work. Actually, no. Gotta do that. Gotta. Oh, I keep meaning to hit this little tiny button up here and increasing the size like this. That means we get to do this. We get to do that. This. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. I'm actually going to make this, I'm going to make these like a light, something really light. Kind of be like, yeah, here's to separate them a little bit so you don't like associate them. They're like, this isn't a ship, this is like a module that you put on a ship. You can rotate these at any angle, really. So let's see, hardpoint light optimization. Most of these ones can be pretty Thinking something like this. Actually, you know what? We can make these things, we can make this bigger. We can make this bigger. We can do something like... down, left, up. Kind of this awkward, awful shape. We do, actually. We make this awkward, terrible, awful shape. It makes everybody cry because it's so awful. Top, where's the top? Actually, we do this one. And then we do bottom right. Just again, we need to clarify what the fuck these things are. Use the light. Fun fact, this system is not really designed for this. There's no really rhyme or reason how these were built in any meaningful way, and I just realized the corner is there. I just need a handful of these to make sure that they're working. There we go. That we do this. Let's see. Add an additional light hard point, which leads to add an additional medium hard point. Actually, or maybe I should just do like 4 squares. No. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna write these in and then do a little bit of debating on it. Let's do add an additional heavy hard point because I want these to be pretty big. Engine optimization, increase engine power by +1, increase ECM resistant ECM by +1, increase sensors by +1. More bunks and bread. Increase crew capacity. Cruise capacity max. Actually, increase crew capacity max by 5. So you can recruit up to 5 additional guys. Doesn't seem that big and important, but for those smaller ships, like, it is actually kind of a big deal. It's just more bunks, it's more beds. So let's think of some other things that we can kind of add indirectly. That's the big thing, indirectly. Let's think. What's going to be added to our ships, and let's actually, you know what we can do? We can do hull mods. Hull mods, Star Sector. Tell me more, Star Sector. I want to know. So let's see. Advanced optics, advanced turret ear gyros. Actually, we can do we'll do something like weapon optimization. We got to go to combat before we really do something like that. Weapon optimization, armored weapon mounts. No, assault package. What the fuck is an assault package? Ship's integrity. We'll try to engage. Otherwise, act as a combat ship. Alright, okay, cost, so no. Augmented drive field, max burn level, that's fine. Automated repair units. Nope, auxiliary fuel tank. Actually, what we can do is fuel tank. Actually, we'll do, I think that would work. Auxiliary. auxiliary fuel tanks, which we're going to reduce the, we can reduce the cost of certain things that you take onto your ship that are like certain things. Actually, we can do let's see. We can do, actually, we can do, we'll do energy rangefinder. Actually, we'll do rangefinder energy, and then rangefinder ballistic. Which then we can do something like actually not blast doors, converted fighter bays. Actually, a converted fighter bay. Actually, it would be converted fighter bay or hangar. It's actually, it'd be a converted hangar. Dedicate targeting OCM package, efficiency overhaul, no. Most guns on these ships are things like like the heaviest ships, the light cruisers, are going to have like 6 light guns. 6 is kind of like the higher end of like the standard like small ships, but like normally it's going to be like 2 to 3. But mind you, you got to remember, as pirates, you are expected to have a shit ton more guns because you have firepower. They have usually they have escorts and they outnumber you. And that's kind of your job, is to be the guys who are able to take a hit sometimes. So yeah, that's why I'm like, let's take a look at like what's... Actually, we can do subsystem we can do militarization. We can do system militarization. Kind of more along the idea of being like, hey, yeah, your ship is now registering as something else. Actually, we can do I shouldn't hesitate to make these things bigger either. Let's see. It's like some of these just don't even do anything, like unstable injections. Actually, no, we can do... Actually, here's some more like the standard ones. Now, let's think about things that we can do a little bit more. These are passive. Let's make these a little bit more active thinking thing. We can do unstable injections, which is more like speed boosts, alpha strike. Actually, no, we can pretty much gonna be able to alpha strike every round. Let's think. We can do hard jump engine optimization. There's just going to be a big giant fuck off block in the middle of your ship, which is like, yep, you do this, you can jump in the middle of a fight. So we can do something along the lines of maybe what would be abilities? Abilities, something you can do that you are able to do as a ship. Abilities that you can trigger to do things. Let's think. I mean, let's FTL. Let's do FTL ships. Hello, FTL, faster than light. Not. Okay, let's. List of systems: weapon control, med bay, clone bay, teleporter, cloaking, mind control, artillery beam. Type of subsystem, backup batteries. Actually, what we can do is we can actually I know what we can do we can do a pop battery, which is more along the lines of you've been ECM UCB, you've been hit by ECM, but you know it's kind of an ECM save. That's kind of the idea. Or let's think like, okay, we're not going to die now. That's the idea. Actually, okay, single ejection speed boost. We can jump faster. We can use pop batteries in case our ECM overloads. We pretty much break our pop battery. It's like, okay, we're not going to get shut down. However, we're not doing too hot. Actually, what we can do is we can add a shield generator. Shield generator to the ship, which a shield generator isn't going to be very efficient because that thing is going to be a sack of shit. Let's think of, actually, we can do, point defense computer, which is the idea of being able to like shoot down missiles and things coming at you if you have light weapons, which normally you wouldn't be able to. What we can do, what do we want? What are we aiming for? What do we really want? Let's ask ourselves that. What do we really want? What else is there? I mean, like, if I'm really thinking of, we'll do weapon optimization. Let's see, auxiliary fuel tanks. We can probably do once we get to things like transporting goods. It's like, this is what this is all about. Like, you want to transport shit like this, you're gonna need to think about it. Gonna. If I ignore it, I don't have to think about it. How about that, chill? How about that, kids? Auto load. We're gonna do faster. We're gonna do faster faster reload. Auxiliary fuel tanks. These are going to be about a unit per fuel reduced. Unit per bulk good reduced. Converted hangars able to use wings. Fake transponder core. Fake being part of a faction 2 sensors. Hard jump engine optimization. Able to jump mid combat. Missile targeting software. Missiles are more reliable. Point defense computer able to use light weapons as point defense. Point defense versus missiles. Which brings up to pot battery. If ECM is exceeded, ignore once, which you can explore multiple pot batteries if you want to do like if you're going for like a heavy like laser build or energy weapon build, you're going to want to take pot batteries because that's actually building up your ECM. You use too much and get hit by a little something, you can actually blow your own engine out because it's like, yep, nope, can't do that. Better ballistic weapons, better energy weapons. Shield generator, create a minor shield. Actually, we can do we'll do makeshift ship towing lines. Tow a ship of a smaller size. System militarization. Actually, we can do system militarize. Actually, a system. Remajigger. I don't really know. Transponder core. Rewrite. Okay, actually no. Rewrite. Come up on sensors as a military vessel. So pretty much it's like, oh no, these guys are military. No, we're not. Unstable injections, trigger to go fast. Yep. And see what they are. We can do this. Cool. You understand this. We'll put that as a kind of like an example. Use Shipbreakers parts. I know, but what are we doing tonight? More Void Haunters. Shipbreakers parts. Shipbreakers parts. Tell me more about parts. Circuits, filters, distributors, pistons, heat sinks, That's great. So we'll do shipbreaker ship module sections. Let's do ships. We'll just do the most basic. We'll just do a javelin. What's inside of a javelin? Tell me more about javelin. ECU. Inside rear cabin, closest class U. Actually, we can do Unshield, very important if you want to hide in a shield, for example. Bring us to nanocarbon, javelin, power generators, reactors, thrusters class. Ion rings are fuel efficient alternatives to thruster. Fuel tanks, coolant tanks, clamps. Shipping containers. People said I would actually enjoy Shipbreaker quite a lot. let's see. Yeah, there aren't actually many ship classes in this, but they don't need to be many ship classes because that's not the point. Let's see, what can we... Portable Savage, nanocarbons, glass, class 1 reactor, airlock consoles, power junction. Yeah, okay. Okay. There's probably some other ones that we can do for like very specific things. Actually, I know we can do. Ram heads. Make ramming great again. Yeah. This is what I mean when it comes down to like just need stuff. It uses ad block. I do use ad block. What do you why do you talk like a point and adventure character? Like a point and adventure character? What? The fuck do you mean a point and adventure character? You mean a point and click game? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I should be insulted by that. I do use ad block though because I'm not I'll have you know, I live in a society, McDrusel. You don't understand. As a gamer, I'm being oppressed by ads. Yeah, people have told me to be like, see, my problem is I like dad games like that. I do enjoy games like that. Though apparently there's like a story out there. Like, it's like the really hardcore story that they like get into it. I'm like, I wouldn't want that. I would be like, just let me salvage ships. Let me be in the vast emptiness of reality and die a little on the inside. So crew. Every ship needs a crew. While smaller in system, actually, while smaller sublight vessels may be able to have a crew, a single manned crew. Actually, no. Well, every ship needs a crew. During how do we want to do that? It would be actually during FTL. During FTL spit, larger ships require in ever expanding crew of loyal individuals dedicated. Let's see. Larger ships require an ever-expanding crew of loyal individuals dedicated to keeping the ship in tip-top shape, and operating all its essential systems. Ships have two requirements. Actually, no, have two. How do I want to word this? Actually, a ship's crew can range between its minimum considered a skeleton crew. Range between its minimum and its maximum more than needed. With each additional crew member demanding their cut at the end of the job. What do they do, however? Nothing. What do they do, however? Keep everything working. Every time a ship suffers internal damage. If a ship suffers internal damage, they will lose 1d8 crew members. They will lose 1d8 crew members as they are either obliterated, or sent hurtling into vacuum. Every time a ship suffers internal damage, they will per section damaged. as they are either obliterated or sent hurtling into vacuum. Should a ship ever fall below its minimum crew requirements, the captain will only be able to take a single action. Actually be able to take a single major or minor action during combat scenarios. Which I'm going to say that you can take two, but it's kind of crippling your option during combat scenarios. Should a crew be completely annihilated? Then the ship, regardless of condition. Then the ship, regardless of condition, is rendered a floating hulk. Perfect for salvage. Let's see, gamers for gamer, point. Okay, I'm clicking on a link. You're linking me 0 punctuation on the absurdity of dialogue trees. Are you saying that I'm speaking like I'm speaking from a dialogue tree? Gamer words for gamers, pretty much, honestly, not gonna lie. You can ignore until the very end. Yeah, no, Fire Emblem. Here's the thing. I played Fire Emblem. God, it was like the one with fucking with Hector. I can't remember that one. Because here's the stupid thing about Fire Emblem. I'm going to tell you something about Fire Emblem that's stupid. That boggles my noggin sometimes. Actually, I know. I was actually doing something earlier. Like, here's the weird thing, because here are all the Fire Emblem games. Like, here's Fire Emblem 1. This is the first Fire Emblem. However, I believe a lot of people's first Fire Emblem that they really played was this one, Binding Blade. Yeah, this was probably like a lot of people's first ones. And I'm like, alright. Then there was also, actually, Blazing Blade was my first one that I played. Then I actually played Blinding Blade. Yeah, because you had to deal with Ellawood here, because Ellawood was weird. But it's like, because what happens is that it's like Fire Emblem 1, Fire Emblem 2, Fire Emblem fucking 7, Fire Emblem 9, and it's like, god damn it, none of you make any sense, because they do kind of go in like weird order sometimes, especially when you start getting into like some of the more obscure classes. It's like, yeah, here you go, like sometimes you kind of all kind of tie together, sometimes they're completely not. It's like, oh hey everyone, look, it's Marth, everyone loves Marth, even though Marth is in like every fucking game. Fucking Marth, I fucking hate Marth. Stupid. But yeah, no, this was 7. Yeah, 7 was my first one. This is my first one that I played. I played Binding Blade a long time after that. Because this was also like one of the first ones that they like released in English for some fucking reason. Because we only get the certain names, but other things are different. Because, fun fact, one of the games we're going to be actually going over this weekend is Fire Emblem Awakening. Very specifically, Fire Emblem Awakening. Like, it's kind of weird how odd it is. I'm not a huge fan of that game. It has its own kind of odd. Yeah, sounds like an SMT game. I play. It was you can do a you can do a there is like a fan translation. I remember. Thing is, like, I distinctly remember playing it. I don't know why I played it though. I was big into Fire Emblem for a while there. I played a lot of the older ones, like anything on like the DS. I never had a 3DS. Like I never really did that. Like I enjoyed my DS, but I'm like kind of, I wouldn't say grew out of it, but I was just like I used it for like very certain things. Like, yeah, no, this is the emblem in, yeah, Fire Emblem Engage. I believe that's the new one. Yeah, this is the protagonist of fucking Fire Emblem Engage. I'm like, wow, this guy looks fucking stupid. This man looks dumb. But then I realized something, because I'm like, okay, here's this. And like I think that they're gonna do like the you can choose your protagonist one. I have a feeling everyone and their mother is gonna choose the girl with her stupid haircut. But here's the weird thing. So yeah, again, look at this, and now I want you to keep that open here. Okay, we got our mind's eye. Switch colors. This was the thing that like I immediately was like, oh, it's the Nintendo Switch colors. Because if you look here at like the Joy-Cons, like, oh, they're, you know, blue and red, blue and red, blue and red, blue and red. I have this strange feeling that somebody in the office yeah, like I have this strange feeling that somebody that some middle-aged Japanese, that some old Japanese man like burst into the design workshop being like, make it look like the Switch. And everyone was like, what the fuck do you mean make it look like the Switch? Make him look like the Switch or you're all fired. And we kill Kazumi-kun over there. Like, oh, we fucking kill the intern if you don't make him look like a Switch. Like, oh, alright. Like, alright, I can do that. That's cool. And then, you know, this like Fire Emblem, like the last Fire Emblem that I'm like people were like really engaged in, that really kind of like got a lot of people talking, was Fire Emblem Three Houses. People still talk about Three Houses, and I actually really enjoyed the ideas behind it. I thought like Byleth was kind of a cool character. Like Edelgard is sex. Dimitri is kind of an intro. Like all the characters in Three Houses were pretty interesting. I was like, cool, I'm invested in this. And then it's just like, oh, here's the expansion between these fucking idiots. No one cares. I'm like, all right. I think out of these three, a vast majority of people went for Edelgard. Then a lot of people I would say like popularity wise, it would be Edelgard, Dimitri, and then Claude. I believe that's his name. Or Claudio, or some stupid shit like that. I don't think he was definitely the optional, like, here's the third option, I think, for a lot of people. And I'm like, I embrace that. But yeah, I like pretty much all the characters in Three Houses. I think it kind of got, I wouldn't say like drawn out a little bit more. Like, I think Edelgard's thinking body me a peg me mommy energy. No, it's I think the thing with like Edelgard was that she was such a weird thing comparatively, because usually you get the first like Fire Emblem girl you really meet, she's like, yeah, I'm a warrior, but I'm also sweet on the inside. She's like, fuck you, and the horse you rode in on, fuck you, and leaves. And everyone's like, okay, you know what? I'm in. I like this character. And because she's the one you actually have to work for to get. Because even if you kind of meander, you'll have to go down Dimitri's or Claude's path. If you have to like dedicate to get her. So I think a lot of people were like, I really like Edelgard, and would focus a lot on her, and then realize, hey, wait a second, you gotta do that. Hey people, Sam here, and today we are talking with the pride of the Federation Fleet Engineering Division, Note 1 Lee. What substance were you ingesting to come up with most of your ship designs? Don't think about it too hard. We're talking about Fire Emblem now. It's great, I don't know what you're talking about. Floating Hulk, perfect for salvage. Yeah, the one of the big ideas behind fleet, like the actual like crew capacities, crew is always going to be a thing, which it's like, oh well, you're not going to run out of crew very quick unless, but it's also like how I want to do it is like crew is going to cost you like five mark a job. So if you have like 10, if you have like 20 crew, that's immediately going to be like, oh well, that's 100 marks off my job. That's that's $100 I don't have anymore to pay my crew, even if the job doesn't go well or pay very well. So it's like, oh well, I've made okay, we're making 500 marks on it. Well, suddenly I'm only making 400, and then after all my expenses, I'm only making 100 on it. It's like, okay, half of me wants to increase it up to make it very punishing, kind of to have like a huge, massive crew, being like, yeah, you get 10. It's 10 marks a crew. So it's like, yeah, have fun, fuckface. How you doing, asshole? Hopefully you invested properly. That are like 50 marks at like an officer. Like officers are going to be a little bit different. They're going to have their own little thing, which I should actually put down here. There we go. Crew and officers. Officers are required for every 10 crew aboard the ship. They act as a method to keep the crew in line. Keep the crew in line and enable them to work more efficiently. The captain themselves count as an officer. The captain themselves counts as an officer, but every subsequent actually counts as, I should say, as 2 officers. But every subsequent 10 requires more able hands to pay the more able hands to manage the unruly. Let's see. Crew require no sign on. Actually, most crew and officers will take their payment after a job is completed, being recruited for actually not. How do we want to do this? Crew and officers will take their payment after a job is completed from the total of the job. When initially recruiting, the captain is free to choose how much crew they take aboard their initial ship. Subsequent recruitment drives may require greasing the wheels or offering a sign-on bonus. But most of the time it will be free as the desperate try to survive. Crew and officers will take their payment after a job is completed from the total of the job. If the captain is unable to pay, the crew may mutiny. Or simply leave. There we go. So it's kind of along the idea of being like, crew is good. Crew is always going to be good, however. Finally, optimizing fighting in Fire Emblem just to spend more time turns with your waifu. Quite funny. Never play. Yeah, pretty much. The most optimized way to play Fire Emblem is to find the girl that you want to like perform Fire Emblem eugenics with and just go for it. I've tried 3 separate occasions to make a Fire Emblem Mankit Ray homebrew 5e back when it was pig. Yeah, they're always broken. Like that's just like one thing you gotta remember. Like some things are just naturally broken. They're just broke. Just fucked. Mm. Delicious. Oh, goodness. Yeah, here's the thing. I actually did check in some of those in the one game. I did check in the Fire Emblem Awakening game to make sure that wasn't a thing actually, because almost everything in the unofficial Fire Emblem RPG is taken from Awakening 1-to-1. And I was like, what cheesy builds can you do? And the answer is, you can do every single kind of cheesy build. I learned that the Cavalier, Kufi, poor Kufi, he has the ability called Determine, like a Discipline. Discipline just doubles all the XP you get. However, the game doesn't do one thing. It doesn't assume it like it is in Fire Emblem, which is whoever gets the kill gets the lion's share of the XP. So you have a very interesting scenario where technically Cavaliers will level up 10 times faster than everyone else because they have the ability to double all the XP they get. I don't know why they chose to do this. But you can just do that. Or you need Heartstones. When we go over it this weekend, you will learn how agonizing that game is and how, like, what the fuck. But yeah, so there we go. We pay all our crew, and next we get to Flag and Steel, Combat Operations. Yes, finally. We're on page 41, and we finally hit that. I'm going to need to do weapons. I'll do weapons later, okay? We're going to do weapons later. Fuck weapons. I should do some basic ones. Notepad, how hard is it to hold of a design document of a video game? Depends. Kind of depends on the game, really. Also, fun fact today, if you may look at the title of the stream, which is Slag and Steel, Twitch thought slag was like a slur, so I couldn't do it, so I just had to do that. So, fun fact, everyone, I've learned slag is a swear word, it's a slur. Let's do this. You said it. The captains have hid behind a small have hid inside an asteroid field. Captains have hid inside an asteroid field. Three ships total. While five let's see. Ships total. While five freighters meander through the ring in an attempt to hit the next jump point uninterrupted. With a signal, the three pirates engines explode. Not explode. Ignite, and they are and launch themselves into the assault against their prey. Combat in Void Haunters is a harrowing affair. It's a harrowing affair due to the sheer danger of interstellar combat. Actually, of stellar combat. Where the civilized have safety in numbers and equipment. The Void Haunters must make do. The Void Haunters must make do with overwhelming firepower and maneuverability. If the numbers and equipment, the Void Hunt overwhelming firepower and maneuverability. The goal is often to not strictly destroy the targets, but to cripple and undermine them. But to cripple and force a surrender of those, stealing their goods and possibly their crews. It's like, yep, we're gonna do something terrible. Slag, huh? Weird. I want to make Crimson Shroud into a Crimson Shroud. That's cool. I mean, if you played the game, and the thing is, with most video games, you can get a good idea if you just play the game enough. You can usually kind of adapt things over pretty reliably. I'd say JRPGs are probably some of the most reliable to bring over, but this is also pretty much just a tabletop game, if I recall correctly. Like, they have miniatures and everything, so I mean, it's going to be too difficult. Pippa, yes, Pippa is a VTuber. Pippa is, legally speaking, Mayoshi, as she is the funny pink rabbit. She says the funny gamer words every now and again, and I've learned that she's apparently just a fucking super autist. Which I'm like, this is it. This is the woman whom I've apparently decided that I enjoy listening to. God help me. Let's see. Well, let's try to the sensor map. Space is complicated. Space is a complicated place. Space is a complicated arena to maneuver in, with accounting for momentum, x, y, x, accounting for the x, y, and z axis simultaneously. All the while, let's see, accounting for the X, Y, and Z axis simultaneously, all while managing momentum, thruster movements, and trying to avoid taking a torpedo to the face. The captain captain represents the entire battle on the sensor map. An open field. Let's see, on the sensor map, allowing all the captains and enemies Determine the best course of action on a 2D plane. A 2D plane while pilots manage on a 2D plane. Let's see. Was airline captains and we determine the best course of action on a 2D plane. The sensor map has each ship represented by either a token, standee, or other significant marker to determine what it is as well as its general location. When whenever a ship is moving, they will take a measuring tool and plot out the exact course they wish to take, allowing for quick maneuvers, allowing for quick maneuvers and devastating assaults. Because yes, this entire thing is not actually taking place on a grid or anything, it's open field. An Oshi, the best way to think about what an Oshi is, in VTuber slang term, is effectively the person you watch. This is your particular VTuber that you enjoy the most. She is your Oshi. He is my Oshi. They are the person that I am in. I enjoy listening to this person. I enjoy being here, and generally, I adore them. I want them to like me, and they like me as well. Well, they usually don't like me, but you get how it goes. For example, if we go to VT, for example, some people actually adopt this and use this to their best efficiency to do things with. Where is Pink? Where is the pink girl? Here's the pink woman. This is Mori Calliope. Mori Calliope is technically the Grim Reaper. Now, you may be fooled by the fact that she is just a pink-haired anime girl with an American accent and also slightly overweight. However, we don't talk about that aspect. Mori's people who follow her, that consider her their Oshi, are actually called, what do they call, like, not boneheads. I can't even remember. Can remember the exact term for them, but they're like bone something. Or like Gura, Gura, the most popular VTuber in all of history and forever, ever, are the Chumbuds. And shit, deadbeats, that's it, the deadbeats. Yeah, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They want to foster fanaticism. That's the goal. If you ever want to become a VTuber, the first thing you have to do is foster fanaticism in your followers. Make sure that they only love you, and when they keep following you to the bitter end. All I'm saying is start a cult. Start a cult of personality. That is how you become a successful VTuber. In other news, hey everybody, please buy my dietary supplements now. I would actually, here's the thing, I would love to be, like, go behind the scenes and do all, like, I would love to be a VTuber manager. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to be a VTuber manager, because I just want to see the back end of everything out of just morbid curiosity. I have to learn. I find them fascinating. Let's see, so... Start a religion? No, that would imply that she knows what she's doing. However, here's like the thing. Drura just had her fucking anniversary stream. Her big anniversary. Congratulations, I've been around for 2 years now. Go yeah, me. She had like 24,000 viewers. That's the thing, like 24,000 viewers. That's fucking nothing to somebody with like one of the most subscribed people on the fucking platform, VTuber wise. She had no one. And usually her streams aren't usually that big either. So like, Gura's weird in that regard. Most of Halloween is really. But Halloween has apparently been falling pretty hard recently. I don't follow it that hard, but I'm like, huh, I find this fascinating. So no pet, sent you are a VTuber. What are we called? Nothing. You're just disappointments half the time. Well, I know what you're called, Solid. You're a Gorbino, but see, the one that I'm like pretty confident that could start a religion pretty reliably, and I don't think anyone would be like, yep, nope, this is a completely legitimate, turn of events. What was her? It was like Cookie VTuber? What was it? Cookie Swirl, that's it. Yeah, this is Cookie Swirl. Cookie here is like the most subscribed VTuber in history. Ever. Because she was originally like a fucking My Little Pony channel. That like, this is who she is. She does like it's a kid-friendly toy reviews. And she decided to become Cookie because she has like 16 million subscribers. She completely blew everybody's numbers out of the way. It was like, oh, we're fucked. Yeah. Welcome to Cookie Swirl. And Manly, do not say why. Manly, no. Hey, hags are a big deal. I've learned that much. There's what was her Hololive Mio. Fuck, Mio's got I believe this one's got a kid. I think she's like she's like a functional adult, and she has like a husband and child. Like, she has like a legitimate child that she owns. This is a child she owns. Like, what is like I believe, I'm like 90% sure she had like a kid, which I always found very interesting because people are like, oh, I don't want my Oshi, being with a man and being this like, yeah, this bitch literally has a husband, and like this lady literally has not only a child but like a husband. But I'm like, yeah, I guess it is MILF energy. Like, Mori's weird because it's, on some hands, some of the shit Mori says be like, oh, I'm 30, like she's like clearly older, but other things is just like, you aren't 30. No, that's too, like, that's too old. I would say that it's I'd say most VTubers now, I would say, end up being about like I would say like 20 to about 26. Though I think that's like the golden era of like to be a VTuber. Older VTubers tend to be either more well established or have something already backing them up. Simply because you can sometimes tell someone's older. I know Bay is the chaos rat from Council, which Council is hilariously terrible. Crony's the only one I enjoy because she's just big titty time goddess. But like, Bay is like apparently like a mega zoomer who didn't know who Freddy Krueger was. She didn't know who fucking Freddy Krueger was. It's like, Bay, what are you doing, you stupid rat? No. Fucking zoomers. Repent, zoomer. Okay, so let's do. So how do we want to do this on the sensor map? Actually we do the sensor map. 2076 sounds like Playboy Bunny years, pretty much. Playboy Bunnies can usually go into about their mid-30s pretty reliably if they're good. And they do really take care of themselves, but most end up about there. We do the sensor map, and then we do into initiative. Actually, no. What do you call it? Initiative. I think he wants to do a weird initiative system in this. I mean, we can actually no. We can do initiative actually initiative and turn structure. Actually, no, we'll do structure and initiative. Structure and initiative. Popcorn initiative depends really on the game and how it's implemented. My normal, like the normal thing with popcorn initiative I see a lot of the time is you can do like I usually call it me them initiative, which is like person A goes, then an enemy, then person B. I sometimes see like the 2 version, which is like person A can go to person B, but person B has to select an enemy. Sometimes, like the worst ones, and like the ones that I'm usually been a little bit hesitant about, is when you're allowed to do something like this pretty reliably. Like you're allowed to just like max out all your people regardless of what you do. Just immediately just alpha strike everything. That's the one thing with initiative. Popcorn initiative can get a little bit wonky, is that you can potentially end up in a situation where you just alpha strike shit. And it's like, well, we don't want this person to go. Popcorn initiative, I want you to go next. Or I want them to go next. It kind of depends on how it's played out. Not my favorite thing. I very rarely use popcorn initiative. Let's see. Combat is both a structure. Combat is a loose but actually is a more complete. Or complete an objective. Each of the to track the series of time to track the time of the combat. Is divided into, how do we want to do this? Actually no, fuck, that's not how we want to do it. How do you want to do this? Actually, no, I know what we can do. During combat, speed is essential. Speed is essential and determines who is going to be acting first during combat. The initiative of the captains and their opponents are essential to the survival of themselves. It's essential to the initiative captains determine the acting order of initiative is determined by the engine power of the ship. Initiative is determined by the engine power of the ship, allowing allowing faster ships to act first. Allowing faster ships to act first. Combat exchange, but slower ships will have but slower ships are more easily able to retaliate. So again, the idea being that pirates are usually going to be going faster. You want to have the fastest engine. You want to be going as quick as you can, because you want to blow these guys out of the water real fast, because the second they are able to turn all their guns on you is when you start getting fucking peppered. What happens when I have less crew than the minimum of a ship? That means you, instead of getting 2 actions, a major and a minor, or 2 minors, you get 1 action. You get 1 major or 1 minor. It's like your combat efficiency drops by half. But slower ships are more easily able to retaliate against. Slower ships are more easily able to retaliate against these nimble vessels. So it's kind of one of those things. What are you exchanging for what? Just determined by the power of the engine, allowing. Actually, each how do we want to actually no? Each bout is split between 3 phases. Movement, action, resolution. Movement, action, resolution. During the movement phase, each ship in initiative. Each ship in initiative is able. Actually, no. Each ship in reverse initiative. Each ship in reverse initiative. Lowest to highest. Each ship in reverse initiative, lowest to highest, will act first. Moving their ship up to their engine power in inches across the map, across the sensor map. During the movement phase, each ship in reserve. Lowest to highest will act first, moving their ship up to their engine power in inches across the sensor map. This allows these slower ships. Actually, okay, no. During the movement phase, those ships in the initiative phase have the option to either hold their movement. Actually, no. How do I want to do this? Ships in the initiative phase have the option to either hold their. Actually, no. During the movement phase, ships will act. Ships will act. How do I want to do that? Pretty much what I want to be able to do is the idea that it's almost like this reverse initiative order where the slower ships are actually being able to move a little bit more while the faster ships have the ability to react better. You aren't firing anything yet. You aren't attacking. It's I'm moving here. I am shifting myself 2 inches in this direction. I'm shifting myself. And while, a slower ship might be able to just move like 2-3 inches, a faster ship's going to be moving like 6, so they can get into a better position. they're okay, we're moving in to like kind of surround you at this point. You're trying to maneuver away, but you really can't. While, you know, the slower ships are trying to kind of like get themselves in a more ideal position to not immediately fucking die. What I'm thinking about doing is having the idea that the slower ships have the ability to kind of move up if they want, but someone with higher initiative is able to quickly being like, oh, well, I have the initiative, I'm going to move first. What? I have the ability to move first, but, you know, now I cannot predict where the slower ship's going. It's like, okay, I can move into position quicker than you can, but that's kind of the... Actually, during the movement ships, during ships will move in order of lowest to highest engine power. Let's see, ships will move in order of lowest to highest engine power. Allow it highest engine power with when they are able to move, they can move up to their engine power in inches in any direction of their choice, even making turns and yeah, let's see, inches in any direction of their choice, even making turns and how do I want to word this? Actually, yeah, and turns an angular movement. Because the idea is, if you know, it's one of those things is because this is now on a kind of an open battle map. There's no squares, there's no hexes, there's no anything. Because we're now on an open field map. That if I want to move my ship, as you can see, I want to move my ship this way, that's fine. Just as much as being able to move my ship like this. Let's see if this is coming out. Or if I want to move my ship kind of like here, and then move here, and then move here. If I want to do kind of like weird, wacky movements, I can, in case there are things like, oh, hey, for example, there's an asteroid, there's a big old stupid asteroid here. What are we gonna do? Well, technically what would happen if I want to move, let's say 5 inches, it'd be like, oh, well, I have to move now in that line, but I may want to be able to do this and then kind of like swing around the side. Or I want to go over here and then, you know, burst out the side. Suddenly they can't hit me. They can't trace a line to me anymore. And that's kind of the idea. And which slower ships have the disadvantage of being effectively forced to move in slower directions. They can only move a little bit in either direction, while the faster ships are able to maneuver a lot more gracefully. You know, if you only have 3 inches of movement, it might be 1, 2, and then 3. Actually, it'd be like 1, 2, and then 3. While somewhat like a faster ship can maybe go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, kind of be able to maneuver in different directions. That's kind of the idea, where being able to kind of maneuver around obstacles and even like other larger problems. It's like, well, we don't really want to fight. Like, we want to kill these guys. We don't really want to worry about these guys. So, I mean, why don't we, in our current position here, like try to maneuver in a way that we can put ourselves here? But, you know, combat's begun, all these slower ships are operating first, but we can now claim the initiative and like, we're going to be real aggressive and move straight up. Actually, let's see. Even making turns at angular, move even to avoid obstacles. Ships will move in lowest. Any ship with a higher engine power. Any engine power can instead choose to claim Let's see. Any ship with a higher engine power can instead choose to claim priority over a slower ship. Making their movement first before that ship. Now, mind you, this might not be like, oh well, why doesn't everyone do that? Because movement's this is just movement, so it's kind of like, all right, we know this, this guy down here has like a bunch of kinetic weapons, so he's like, okay, I want to take my movement first. I want to move straight up here into gun range, and now these guys are kind of being more threatened. These guys are like, okay, I got some long range weapons, and like I've got some medium range weapons. So after these guys have started kind of moving this way, kind of trying to get their gun lines set up, trying to protect the freighters here. They'd be like, okay, we know now where everyone's going, and be like, okay, we're gonna shotgun up here. I'm gonna put myself right over here. Where it's like, well, shit, now we're out of position. These guys are out of position. So going faster is going to be better. But you have the very, very obvious problem, if you've been paying attention to this at all. I am playing a capital ship. My movement is trash. I will almost always act first. However, the millisecond I am able to act, I am going to, obliterate this poor fucker over here and turn him into nothingness. It's like, oh. Short answer is probably. I mean, technically you can play Ghost Cop. Ghost Cop's cool. Technically, Kiznaido is a game that is a horror game. Technically, where you play a ghost. Any ship with a higher engine power can instead choose to claim priority over a slower ship, making it making their movement first before that ship. The action phase has each captain in the initiative order. In the initiative order, make either a major and minor action, or two minor actions. This is referred to as their turn. This is referred to as their turn. Yeah. So there might be something being like at the end of the turn. This is what it means. At the end of your turn. Finally, the resolution. Finally, the resolution. Actually, we can probably do. We can call it. Actually, no. I know we can do it. Logistics phase. Finally, the logistics phase. Each ship that has fired a missile weapon will move their missile closer to the target. Actually, no. During this phase, each ship will perform their upkeep and any other factors that are resolved. Notable features, notable issues do include charge weaponry, ECM clearing, charge weaponry, ECM clearing, and moving missiles. Then the next round's movement phase begins again. During any phase, actually no. Movement phase begins again. There we go. Pretty standard stuff. Just goes entirely off your engine. Again, you have speed. They have firepower. Usually, they will beat you out in a prolonged engagement. That is the core thing that is always going to be your problem. They will beat you in a straight engagement, but you will beat them in a firefight. So you need to cripple them fast, and you need to cripple them quickly. Completed their objectives. Retreated or surrendered. There we go. Pretty much, it's just like if you fight until you pull out. How do you spell that? Kiznaito? Kizunaito? I mean, yeah, right. That link, yeah, there's Kizunaito. Kizunaito! Yeah, there's Kizunite. That's the thing I've been translating. There we go. Movement phase, action phase, logistics phase. Then we move straight on to actions. Actions and... Actually, no, we do actions, which then immediately is going to transfer over to damage and structural integrity. Damage and structural integrity, which is then going to then transfer over almost immediately to salvaging, actually surrender and salvage. Surrendering, salvaging. You know, we do survival, surrendering, and salvage. There we go. Actions. Actions. That site is entirely in Japanese, by the way. You gotta remember that, Solid. There's a reason I am the one doing the translation effort. Let's see what's on Twitter. Gotta double check Twitter every now and again, anytime something comes up. Nothing important. God help us all. Let's see. Is anybody posting cringe in my server? Is anybody... Okay, no. Nobody is posting cringe. We're making it, everybody. Let's see. Is anyone on fire over here? Nope, no one's on fire over here. People are posting cringe into other servers, but cringe is very standard. So let's see. It's 10:30. Okay, I'm making good time. But we need to do actions. Actions. When it is the action phase, the captain has their options before them, and must act accordingly. See, what happens in my server, I've realized, is that people get riled up by somebody, and then the cringe flows. Like Dune, the cringe will flow, only if something happens. Usually it's Wuso posting something cringe from another person, like Gilla. That usually gets people riled up. Ironside saying literally anything, a Jort saying literally anything. Any of the Gorbinos, really, honest to God. Anytime the Gorbinos post, something usually goes wrong. Something is usually on fire very quickly. Captain has their options before them, must act accordingly. A captain has... does he defend Gilla? No, he usually isn't defending Gilla. It's more... We've gradually come to the weird realization that Gilla is not quite the mad genius we thought he was. More along the lines of he's just a terminally online man who made something that got too popular on accident. Because this weekend I'm actually going over frame. That's like one of the big things. I'm actually going over frame. And I am... Wait one second. You know what? Here's the thing with Frame. I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by Yellow. You always have to remember that. I am perpetually interested in that man because of how he acts to others and what he made. Not that it's good, mind you. Not that it's good. Very different. I'm more fascinated by the fact of why he made it. Because this is Frame. We'll be going over this on Saturday, so I'm not going to go over too big. But, like, this was his big thing, and, like, his, like, the thing that kind of caused everything to go wrong in Gilla's life, really. And it's like, this is really a nothing burger game. This is 47 pages. It's 5.5 by 8.5. Like, this is very small. Like, there's not much here, really. And, like, I've never played Warframe, but even then I'm like, wait a second, this is just fucking Warframe. And that's kind of a reoccurring theme with Gilla. Luckily though, tonight will probably be Pillars of Eternity Day. Because yeah, they made this. I have no idea why they made it, but they did. Welcome to the Pillars of Eternity game. Like, there's a lot of things in here, and like nobody's talked about it. Like nobody talks about this game. Similar to Pillars of Eternity, nobody talks about Pillars. I always find that interesting because people were like, oh, it's such a great game, but nobody's talked about it. I always find that very fascinating. Is Ghost Cop equal Ghost Ops RP? What? 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 I mean, I guess you can do that. What is your opinion about Pillars? I played through like the first quarter of Pillars of Eternity, and then just things came up to stop me. I got good vibes from it though. I enjoyed it. Here's the thing. I've actually stolen the endurance and health system from that game. I've been meaning to try to do more with it, but it's kind of hard. I might do that for zombies and ziggurats actually. Because like one of the big things, hello phone. Because one of the big things in Pillars of Eternity that I thought was really interesting was you have both a health bar and a endurance bar. When your endurance drops to 0, you're unconscious. You are out of the fight. However, but you'll get back up when the fight's over. But your health decreases then. So you might have 60 health and 20 endurance, and if you take 20 damage, you're out of the fight. But your health only goes down a small amount. Usually the thing is, your health is far harder to get back. You require full rests, you require everything. It's a long time to get your health back. You have to spend money at like an inn or something. While restoring your endurance is a lot easier. I found that really interesting, and they had like a cool lore going on there. I never got really into Dread. Like people talked about Dreadfire, but nobody heard about that. That was kind of the thing with Pillars of Eternity. I wish that there was more. I wish people talked about it a bit more, but what's Obsidian been doing recently? Oh god, Obsidian, what have you been doing recently? Luckily, I already have a character for that. Obsidian, what have you been doing? Oh, you've been doing that. They've been making money on The Outer Worlds 2 after The Outer Worlds did such an amazingly well that nobody remembers it. See, here's the thing, I actually own Neverwinter Nights and Neverwinter Nights 2. I should make that a stream, just me playing fucking Neverwinter Nights, just the original. But I'm very bad at Neverwinter Nights. What the hell is this? Pentiment. Never heard of this one. Art Imitates Death. Looks like that's going to be a arty-farty game. Grounded was another one of those games that like popped up and then immediately did nothing. It came out in 2020 and it's still going apparently. Just nobody talks about it. Avowed? What's Avowed? Next epic first-person RPG. Yeah, haven't heard really. I think one of the issues with Obsidian is that they made a lot of good things. They've made good things. Like Star Wars, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2. All right, Alpha Protocol's amazing. Fallout New Vegas is really damn good. Like all these things are very good. However, there's always a reoccurring theme in all these games. Bar Neverwinter Nights 2, I think. But like Star Wars, like Sith Lords, it was not complete. There's chunks of that game that aren't completed. Alpha Protocol, that game is janky as fuck, and you cannot find it anymore because of licensed music. Like, I would love to play Alpha Protocol. Like, that was a lot of fun. You have Fallout New Vegas, which half that game isn't completed. The entire Caesar's Legion quest line just isn't present in that game. And like, that's kind of a reoccurring theme, is that they make good things. People just either don't, they usually just don't go much elsewhere. Like Tyranny, people love Tyranny. People don't talk about Tyranny anymore. Did you play Tyranny? I didn't play Tyranny. It's always been one of those games like, I'm gonna play Tyranny, but it's always interesting when you talk about things like Tyranny or really any of these kind of CRPGs, is that people are like, yeah, this is really good. We've played the first 20 like 10 hours, but then we don't play. Most of these games are like 80-hour fucking experiences. These aren't small things. That's why it's like, oh damn. So I think it's like Obsidian is one thing. I will say this about Obsidian. Obsidian is cursed by Fallout New Vegas, because New Vegas is very fucking good. And, people can it's not good. It's fine. No, it's good. Armored Warfare. I've never heard of Armored Warfare. Free to play massively multiplayer online game. Yeah, like, I think that's one of the biggest issues, that Fallout New Vegas was really good, but they've never really been able to follow up on it. Like, you can do things like the Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds was jank, and like, if you actually listen to people talk about the Outer Worlds, like, nobody is like, oh, I love this game. Nobody is like that. It's Pirate doing Xbox Game Studios. See, and one thing too is that they're not a dedicated publisher. They go through publishers. Who publishing Xbox Game Studios? Xbox Game Studios. Look, it looks like they are going through Xbox now, but like a lot of their games versus Evil. Tyranny is published through Paradox. Pathfinder, that was Asmodee. Like that's like one of the things too, is that like a lot of their games get published through people, and it's like Fallout New, like, I like New Vegas, but even I will be the first one to say like that game wasn't finished. Fallout New Vegas pretty much, it's the thing with New Vegas is that New Vegas is very fucking good. And there's actually some very pertinent themes in that game. And there are some like really interesting ideas. It's partially because it's built on kind of a it's a janky fucking engine, one. That's like a big idea. It's built on a janky fucking engine. The other major issue I feel with New Vegas is that there are moments in that game in which you have to play out a very certain way, or the game stops making sense. But they give you the options because they didn't complete things. I think one of the biggest ones is if you kill Benny too early. That was like one thing I always remember, is that if you kill Benny too early, you fuck up the actual quest pretty severely. Because what I did once was, when I was playing New Vegas, I got to Vegas, I'm like, I'm gonna find Benny. I found Benny, he's like, oh no! And I fucking whipped out my Magnum and just immediately popped him in the fucking head. He was dead immediately. Super dead. And the thing is, the game tries to fix it, being like, Caesar has noticed you, courier. Come to Caesar's camp. And it's like very janky. Because what's supposed to happen is You go to the tops, you encounter Benny, Benny escapes, and he gets captured by the Legion. And that's how you visit the Legion, how you get brought into everything. You can sequence break Vegas really hard. And like sometimes things don't work right, and sometimes like because it is what the engine it is, it kind of breaks some things. So like also the entirety of the Caesar's Legions quest just do not work. They really want you to play. They also really almost all of the like all of the old Bethesda games used just to do that. No, the Morrowind did that. Oblivion did not. Oblivion was the first one to introduce crowns. But like one of the big things with these, like with like New Vegas, was that it was like clearly there was more to be in that game. There was supposed to, I would assume there was probably supposed to be about I would say another, I would say maybe another 20-40 hours of content on your first run through. Because it's like, there are entire sections of that fucking map which just are not covered at all. There's the entire Caesar Legion quest doesn't fucking work half the time. It's stupid. We don't really see that much of it. Like, Morrowind was the one where it was like, oh, well, the thread of fate has been severed. You have to reload a save or else the world is doomed. Like, alright, cool, based. Oblivion was the first one to introduce crowns, which I call them crowns because that's how I remember them, is certain NPCs, if you hovered over them, would have a crown. If you attacked that NPC, they would just become unconscious. Nothing you did would actually kill them. And if you tried to kill them, they just go unconscious again. Though you could do things to like permanently stun lock someone. Like people did a lot on Martin. Poor Martin Septum. Let's see. So must act accordingly. Captain has two types of actions they can perform. They can perform a major and a minor action. A major and a minor action. The captain must decide if they are performing a major minor, or minor action on their turn. If a captain's ship is below minimum crew capacity, they will be only able to perform a major or minor action. So you get two actions effectively. So you can get to do two things. So let's do our basic actions that we can perform. So we'll do major actions. What I should do actually is make you heading 3. And we do shift 8. Alright, so let's think of some of the major actions we need to do. Now these are things that you can definitely do and you have all the options to do such. We're going to say, actually, we do open fire. The captain selects, let's see, the captain selects. Let's see, captains open with 4 of their currently equipped hardpoint. Currently equipped, actually, no, we'll do, we'll do open fire. The captain chooses up to 4 hard points of the same type. Ballistic, we'll do ballistic, energy, or missile. Ballistic or the same type, ballistic or energy. of the same ballistic or energy, and opens up fire on a target of their choose up to 4 hard points of the same type, and opens fire on up to 2 separate targets within range of the weapons. So it's kind of the idea that you are opening fire with, you're just doing a full salvo, being like, everything in this general direction must die. Dynamic roll system? What do you mean by a dynamic roll system? Let's do, so open fire, we can do fire, salvo, the captain. Shoots up to their maximum missile hard points. Shoots up to their maximum missile hard points at a target. I have a weird custom dice roll rules I had for a game. Basically, it's D6 roll and keep. I mean, fucking Genesis got away with it, so. Let's do open fire, missile salvo. Actually, we'll do a full burn. Let's see, these are major things. These are things that really matter to you, that are all about being able to do things. Actually, emergency repairs. The captain repairs. Let's see, the captain repairs. Let's see, emergency repairs. Actually, they roll against their crew rating, which I can probably add earlier. They roll against their crew rating to. They roll against their crew rating with each success. With each success generating, with each success repairing one section that has been damaged. So it's like, if there's about 4 sections that's been damaged, we're going to do this. But the big thing too, this is one thing I also kind of noticed. If you do get hit by a missile, for example, because one of the things by missiles is that they do damage like this. Whatever impact zone they hit, everything is going to get affected around it. Now, interestingly enough, this is going to guarantee occur, because this would be cut off. So you're always going to lose a chunk of your ship that if you get hit by a missile, which I think is actually pretty thematic. Especially bad if you get hit by a missile in a location that you really shouldn't get hit by a missile, such as if I get hit by a missile right here. Let's say missile right there is M. What's going to occur is this, which means this entire corner of your ship is now gone. It's been completely detached. So yeah, missiles are really fucking scary, which does lead to actually one type of missile I was thinking about adding in, which is called swarmies. Swarmies deal no fucking damage. They do 1 damage, but there are usually like 6 of them. Against armor, they're useless. However, if you are already doing internal damage, they're going to do 6 missile damage, which might look something more along like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. which might end up doing something like, oh, these little fucker missiles just blew open half my ship. Well, shit. Like, well, boys will be boys. It is what it is. It's like, oh, well, cool. I have lost this entire chunk of my ship. You know, this entire chunk's just fucking gone now. Like, we're not even going to talk about what happened to, like, the entire middle of my ship that's now just floating in space. Well, technically, this as well would be, actually, no, this would have been safe, because this is still here. But yeah, no, like, oh, cool. I've lost huge chunks of my ship now. Awesome. I love games. I love space combat. Space combat's so much fun. It's not. Space crime sucks. Remember, kids, space crime sucks. I could have swore I've seen a system like that before. I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. But let's see, emergency repairs, open fire, missile salvo, full burn. Do you think having more, like, let's see, what other, like, major, actually, okay, I know, it's, trigger module. Finally, that's what we're going to do, a boarding action. The captain. The captain, when within 1 inch of an enemy vessel, within a 1 inch of an enemy vessel, orders a boarding operation for each crew member. Should the enemy resist, make a buccaneer check. Make a buccaneer test. It'd be trial, right? Call them trials, if I remember correctly. Yeah, trial. Make a buccaneer trial. Should the enemy resist, make a buccaneer trial. Every success, meaning one crew member of the enemy vessel has been killed in the melee. Every failure has one of the captain's crew. Actually, has been killed in melee. No. Should the enemy resist, make a crew rating trial. Should the enemy resist, make a crew rating trial. Every success has the ship, has the enemy crew die, while every failure has the captain's crew suffer casualties. Suffer casualties if the attackers are if the boarders are successful, score more successes than failures. They may continue or retreat. If the boarders score Score less successes than failures. Hello, retreat. So it's kind of like the idea of being like, you're sending your guys aboard their ship, they're sending you, they're trying, if they want to oppose you, it's like, okay, so my crew rating is 5, and I'm set, and you know, I might roll against like 5 or something. I'll have to define that probably. I might be rolling against 5, so crew, let's say I have a crew rating of 5. So I would have lost 1 person because I rolled a 6, but I would score 3 kills. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but this is small fights between like a couple dozen guys, and someone's dead now, and I've lost 1 guy, you've lost 4. Which some of the smaller ships, that's crippling. You know, if you look at some of these, you know, some of the smaller freighter ships, even like the Dusty Yun, like this is a pretty standard freighter, like kind of a freighter. Like losing 4 guys could potentially mean you don't have a crew anymore. Like you're crippled. Especially if you're going with the smaller corvettes, losing 4 guys could mean your entire crew is dead, or a vast majority of them. So it's like, okay, so trigger module, boarding. So if the module has sustained damage, module has sustained damage. They know. Not trigger damaged modules. Do we really need that many? Here's the thing, do we really need that many actions? Or do we just need a handful of actions that do exactly what we want them to do? Okay, I think I'm gonna... Oh, maybe that. Actually, that reminds me. I know what we can. Think smart. Boarding. We'll do boarding pods. Boarding pods. Yep. Did he cover shipboarding? Yeah, I just covered shipboarding. One of the ideas behind boarding is like it's an incredibly dangerous affair, but it's also one of those moments where it's like, if you have overwhelming numbers, you might go aboard a ship and be like, we've won already. And it's very much, should the enemy resist, you may go aboard and be like, it's over. Like, we've won already. We can kill your crew pretty simple. That is not complicated. And it's like, zam, okay, we're done. Like it's Jover here. We surrender. Do whatever you want. Just don't kill us. And if you're playing relatively good people, be like, okay, we'll take all your shit. If you're playing terrible people, you might be like, all right, get on the ground, or oh well, that's great. Shoot you in the chest. Fucking loser. Like they may just give up. It might just because. Well, nobody wants to die. Always remember that. Nobody ever wants to die. Dying is, as they say in the hood, pretty gay. It's not exactly what people seek out to do. But mind you, the enemy can do this on you. So if like a fucking capital ship, gets up on your ass, it's like, no, you run. You just fucking run. Like, that shit's whack. You are gonna die. But also, it's like, capital ships really shouldn't be there, and most likely a capital ship doesn't want to board you. They're just going to shoot you, and when you are floating in space, dead in the water, then they'll just shoot you again and turn everything you love into slag. I've never played Warframe. Actually, I played very light Warframe. I always thought it was cool, but not cool enough to spend that much fucking time on. We'll do some minor actions. We will do half boost. Fire hard point. Choose any hard point. Fire that weapon. Choose any hard point that is not fired yet. That has not fired yet. And fire that weapon. Actually, choose any light. I should say light, medium, or heavy hard point that's not fired yet, and fire that weapon. We're then going to be making a minor actions are kind of like a secondary thing that you can do that aren't really as efficient as doing something else, but it's like, okay, we can at least try something out. Open fire, trigger modules. We can do emergency repairs. Actually, we can do standard repairs. Repair one section of the ship. So it's like, okay, we've got a few sections up, but we need to fix one other thing. Like, we need to fix this module now or we're gonna die. We can then do what would be actually no, we do a charge skip drive. Order the charging of the skip drive. After this action is performed 3 times, they will skip jump. They will skip jump to hyperspace. They'll skip jump to hyperspace out of combat. They will skip jump to hyperspace out of combat. Actually, we'll say this is how you escape. It's like, actually, skip jump to hyperspace during the logistics phase. Manual reloading. Forge reloading. Actually, we'll do manual reloading. Manual reloading. The captain orders the crew. Reload the gun faster. Faster than the forge can. Let's see, faster than the forge can. They were each hard point reloading. Reduces the reload time by 1. Actually, reload by 1. So that's kind of like, we fired all our guns. Okay, crew, get. Actually, I should say, choose one hard point. Choose one hard point reloading. Reduce the reload. So it's like, we need to get this bigger thing up. We need to do this. Okay, do that, please, God. I am begging you. Let's see. Boarding action, emergency repairs, full burn, missile salvo. Change the targeting of missile. Change the target of missile weapon. Adjusting to a new target within range. Let's see. The captain makes. Rolls their boss title. Rolls their boss title with. Actually, rolls a average 3 boss title trial for every success. +1 rating for the round. So you can get up to 3. So if you only have a boss rating of, let's say, 4, it's like, oh, cool, I have a crew rating of now, like, fucking nothing because I rolled poorly. I have a crew rating of 5. It's not going to mean much, but it's like, yeah, it's like, we're going into fucking battle and I'm going to die. Like, we're going to need to work together. Let's see, is there any other, like... Actually, I know what we can do. Clear systems. Let's see. Clears all ECM damage currently suffered from energy weapons or enemy enemy EMPs. Because whatever happens, if you ever hit an ECM damage threshold that's too high, let's say your ECM is only 5 and you take 5, you fire a lot of energy weapons or you get hit by a big EMP, what's going to happen is that you're going to be dead in the fucking water for the round. It's effectively a stun. You're unable to do anything, and they're going to open up on you. You can't move, you can't take actions, you're just floating in space. That's why you should not do that. Like, that's why energy weapons are kind of dangerous, is that they do ECM damage to yourself. But if you know for a fact that they don't do it, and it does clear during the logistics phase, it's like, this is more along the lines of like, we fired a lot, like, we're gonna fire, like, we fired like a full-on, like, we did a, open fire with a bunch of energy weapons. We have a really high ECM rating currently, but we think they might have some EMP stuff. We're going to lower our ECM. Like, this is kind of like a clear system. Like, fuck. Fire hardpoint, standard repairs. I feel like there should be one that's just like the do something even when there's doing nothing kind of thing. You should always be getting something even if nothing is currently occurring, which we can then assign to maybe... Actually, no. Orders a targeted ship to be locked on. All missiles. Actually, all attacks against the locked on ship are made with +1. Actually, no, made with, fuck, what did I end up calling it? stray signal. Made with a bonus stray signal. Plus 1d8. So it's kind of like the idea, you're going to get a bonus, not a big bonus, but you're going to get a bonus. So it's like, cool, you know, actually, and then we do evasive maneuvers. The captain orders. Begin moving order the ship to begin moving erratically, reducing the giving any target, any attacker's attack. That, I mean, it works. That giving any vessels attack against the ship, giving any vessels attack against the ship a penalty stray signal. There we go. Not a bonus stray signal. That's kind of the opposite. So if you're like, okay, we're in this, like, here's an evasive maneuver. We're doing this. And actually, one final one. We can do a sensor ping. Sensor ping, make the captain. The captain orders a full active sensor ping. Sensor ping, orders a full active sensor ping. They make a sensor rating check. They make a sensor rating check of average. They make a average sensor rating check. Actually, they make a sensor. That's a sensor rating check. So a sensor rating trial. Sensor rating trial with the ease or difficulty depending on the situation. This is you actively trying to hunt for someone. Does reveal the ship on sensors as well. So it's kind of like I'm sending a big ping out, everyone can see me, I can see them, which if you're trying to find someone who's hiding, for example, from you, doing this is very, like, this is a good move. It's like, I am deliberately hunting you down. Like, I can find you. The captain orders a weapon fire, chooses a they choose any light, medium, or heavy hard point that's not fired yet this round, and fire that weapon. Standard repairs one section of the ship, because we've already clarified a section is just like a single square. Charge skip drive. That's your get out of jail free card, and remember, you get 2 minor actions, so technically it's going to take you 3 turns minimum to skip drive your way out of there. Morale encouragement is pretty much just for, like, we're getting into a fight real fast, please send help. Lock on, evasive maneuvers, sensor ping, and actually I'm going to do a minor actually I should say what's a good another word for minor synonym. Actually, trivial action. The captain orders a trivial affair that is not complicated to perform. The idea behind this is the anything else kind of thing. Like this is the, if you want to do something a little bit more there, and we're going to add here actually as the complicated action. Scout orders a dedicated action by the crew. Having them roll their crew rating. Rile. I need my crew to do something. Actually, captain orders dedicated, or by having them roll crew rating trial, or rolling one of their titles. There we go. The best way to think about it is like a complicated action is like, hey, vent everything in our cargo holds. Vent everything. Like just throw everything out the airlock. That's a complicated action. Like this is a dedicated action the crew needs to perform to do. It's loading up all the cargo stuff and shoving it out the cargo bay. However, on the other hand, on the flip side, trivial action is like, fetch me this person. I am ordering my crew to do something that it's kind of preventing them from doing other things. It's one guy not able to lock on. It's just like, this isn't really a super significant action. It just kind of is an action. I should do like a banked up, like here's a fortune, like you could do a fortune die or something. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the actions really. Damage and structural integrity. Okay, so during the when the first shots ring out, let's see, when the first shots ring out, damage will be calculated. The first shots ring out, damage will be calculated by the number of successes rolled. When the first shots ring out, the captain's brace for impact, or pray that their shots hit. When a ship takes damage, ships will take damage. Ships will take damage when weapons score successes against them. With the weapon rating and difficulty determining difficulty to hit, determining what die and actually determining what the rating and number of d8s being rolled is. Actually, individual weapon. Pretty much the idea is that I want weapon rating to be like the thing that really matters. Like this is what's really going to be like, this is the thing that's important. But down here, like the number of d8s being rolled, that's like number of successes effectively. The more successes you roll, the more damage you're going to be doing, which might be, cumulative amounts of successes. So I want to do this correctly. I need to bring out insert. That's not a footnote. I need to insert a table. Actually, what I can do here. So here's what we do. All right, who's ready for cross-sectional fucking tables? Woo! Actually, I should do close. Actually, no, we do point blank, close, medium, far, extreme. Point blank is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12. It's super fucking easy to hit a cap. The thing is, it is super fucking easy to hit a capital ship point fucking blank. You're going to hit the capital ship. That's not an answer of if you are going to. It's a question of you are going to. The problem usually is sometimes a weapon rating might be 1, so it's like I'm gonna roll 12d8 and mine only 1 hits. Close is going to be 4, 3, 2, 1. Actually, I really want to be 2, 1. I'm going to do 4, 2, 1. And there we go. Which we do 5, 5, 3, 2, 1. We do 1 less, so it'd be 6. 2 less. 2. No, it would be 4. And then we lower it by 1. Oh, yeah. Consistency. I love it. I want to do this. I really want to do this. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. You can be rolling a lot of dice. Like hitting a battle cruiser is not difficult. The problem is with hitting a battle cruiser is that the fact that you have angered a fucking battle cruiser and you're not going to have a fun time. Corvettes are just really hard to hit unless you're very close to them. And capitals are going to be, we reduce it by 2, and then we reduce it by 1, and then we reduce it by 1 last one for the last. There we go. Range difficult. Range difficult. See, it's not very difficult to hit things from like across system. That's not the thing. It's not supposed to be difficult. Point blank, where we're going to say is when it is pretty much anything within. It's pretty much just going to be like 1 inch. Like that's pretty. You are like, this is boarding range. That's the idea. Actually, no, we can do 2 inches. Then we do close would be probably around 4. Medium. If we do something along the lines of like, if it's within medium or then within far, which would be kind of like 12 inches. Yeah, 12 is a fucking heat. Even 8's like a good decent way away. 1 inch, like 2 inches is pretty close. 4 inches is 8 inches, good amount. 12 is a full foot. About will we do that and then like 16 inches for like extreme? No, we do 18 inches for extreme. Like this is like a massive to me anyway. These might change a little bit, but I'll use these for now. Just for my own sanity, you could say. This is just going to be from me for right now, but let's say, oh, when sustaining damage, the attacker will let's see. When sustaining damage, the attacker will be the one to distribute it aboard their own ship. They will reduce their, let's see, they will reduce their hull integrity. Let's see, in hull integrity first. When that has been punctured, they will reduce the damage sections. Ballistic weapons. Choose any section. Damage it by. Choose any section equal to the damage sustained. Choose any section equal to the damage sustained. Mark. Destroy that section. Energy weapons. All sections must be adjacent to one another, equal to the damage sustained. We do missile weapons. Choose a point of impact. Every section, including the center, is damaged. Sustains damage. And then we do cataclysm weapons. Immediate explosion. Yeah, actually, no, I'm not even gonna put cataclysm weapons in here. It's just like cataclysm weapons, you just die. So we have ballistic weapons, energy weapons. So all sections must be adjacent. Missile weapons choose point of impact. Every section, including the center, sustains damage. And ballistic weapons is choose any section equal to the damage. So it's like I'm going to take damage all over here because ballistic weapons kind of target everything. Energy weapons, on the other hand, we'll begin damage sections. Sections cannot be damaged twice. Cannot be damaged twice if a energy cannot be damaged. Actually, sections cannot be damaged twice. Which we're gonna have to probably provide like a little visual image here. If a section were to actually. If the ship has a lock on, the attacker will instead choose the damage location. Choose the damage locations of the weaponry. Actually, here's what we can do. Break lock. The captain. So yeah, we can do kind of a little bit of rocket tag in that regard, being like, if you got it lock on, like you are going to start to fuck. Like you were going to have a very bad time, as like, yeah, you have the ship has a lock on, the attacker will instead choose a damage locate. The attacker will instead choose damage locations of the weaponry. if any okay, if any section is fully cut off from a remainder of the ship, if a section is fully cut off from a remainder of the ship, as shown, it will detach. It will detach from the ship itself. It detach from the ship itself, considered to be lost and unrepairable. If the ship is torn in half, if the ship sustains over half of its internal section, sustains over half its internal section, and over half its internal. That's the scary thing when it comes to lock-ons, where it's like, yeah, you have a lock-on, they hit you. Fuck what I missed. You missed the entirety of me doing combat. And all the discount ship modules. If you want to do ship modules, feel free to do some more. I will gladly accept any assistance when it comes to ship modules. Cause I fucking hate ship modules. Well, I don't hate them. They're just going to take a while to do. Combat is mostly in a good place right now. Because luckily, here's the thing. Luckily, because everything is going to be actually just driven by movement, and it's kind of like, I wouldn't say necessarily strict movement. Luckily, I can be a little bit more conservative when it comes to things like that. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to move 5 inches. So it's like, okay, I'm going to bring out my tape measure and move 5 inches exactly, or I'm going to move 5 inches. And I'm also not going to determine like where's the exact thing like that. I'm just going to leave that up to you, because people make some decisions on that, to be like, okay, is it like the center of a token? Is it like the base? I'm not really going to like say you have to use something like this. It's just going to be, you can use whatever you want and kind of determine what is 5 inches versus what isn't. Kind of play that by ear. But yeah, no, it's like, okay, we've determined like, okay, I am within 3 inches, I'm 2.5 inches from this. I can make an attack against it. I'm going to get some bonuses. But oh no, this guy is almost a foot away from me. Therefore, I'm going to have to make a long distance check, which may be fine when you're dealing with like really precise weaponry. Maybe that's all you want to do. But yeah, looks like we made pretty good progress today. Most of combat's done. Not pretty. Most likely the thing that I'll do down here, I'll do this probably between, because it's just going to be me sitting here and kind of like divvying up, doing maths and boring shit like that. Or I might do it next episode. Yeah, no, combat's pretty much done. Which was never going to be the hard part. That's the thing. That was not the point. That was not the point to make it difficult. The hump was ship creation, but the ship creation is working. So next we're going to do the man of the fleet, which is kind of like you leveling up. You're not really going to level up, it's just going to be money. And then we get to do all the fun stuff, which is like sector creation. Probably not going to do like a strict sector creation. Probably going to do a little bit more open-ended on that. And how to do home base. And like, hey, here's a market system. Yes, you're going to be able to manage your fucking economy. And I know how to do it too, because I have Cruelty Squad, baby. When in doubt. Jobs are going to be pretty simple. Then we have kind of like a GM section. I'm estimating if things go smoothly and all according to plan, he says to himself, fully knowing. I'm suspecting that we could probably get this done on Monday. If we make good time on on Friday, we can wrap everything up on Monday. And then most likely what will occur is Wednesday will either be a fill day of like we might be able to finish, we might not. or we will do kind of a two-part preparing for the next set of games. Because, actually, give me 1 second, I will open this up real fast. I have to open this up through another thing, because I don't want everyone to know my super secret passwords. Oh, he responded. Oh shit, he responded. Oh no! Let me see, we do... Yeah, there we go. I got a commission in. He seems to like it. Yeah, it's kind of a... Looking at this, I don't know if he watches this at all. There's a lot of stuff going on with this one. But it generally doesn't seem like too complicated. Like, here's the thing, like, it's more along the lines of, like, he wants a really high-powered... This is the thing that's a little gonna throw me for a loop a little bit, the high-powered Janjia. That sounds a little bit weird to me. And, like, oh, that's gonna be a little bit fucky-wucky. And some of the things down here he's talked about, which is like, okay, this is a little bit weird, but I get what you're trying to say here. It's just you're not saying it very well. I get what you're saying. It's about saying it. But yeah, no, this is going to probably be a commission. What I will most likely do, because honestly, we've had like a commission pretty recently, is I will do probably the Corto Maltese game, Song of the White Carnations. We'll go to, what we'll do is we'll finish Void Haunters, do Songs of the White Carnations, then that commission, then move on to Crisis Heroine. That's going to be kind of the current state of affairs. I'm doing that not because, like, I don't want to do this, but it's like, people like the stuff they voted on, and I have a feeling that game's going to be a little bit, so it's like, okay, let's do Songs of the White Carnations, because Songs of the White Carnations is going to be a little bit fun, and that's been kind of in my book for a while. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure to, well, tell me. I will see you all on maybe tomorrow, depending on how well things go. Sounds like I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow, though, so there might not be an after-hours stream. There might be. I don't know. It's Hicks Underground, isn't it? But I will see you all on Friday, in which we will do probably most of the back-end stuff for Void Haunters and see where we can go from there. So, thank you all. Godspeed, good luck, and I will see you all on the flip side.